I've had a couple of questions as to how I did the binding on this Cupcake Mini. So I'm going to share how I did that. I went ahead and made 4 sleeves here, which I totally need to put together, because I haven't done that yet. So after I fold them, I just put a little line of adhesive on the inner sleeve and just close it like that. And then for the binding, I measure how long this is, and this one is approximately 2.5 inches. Yeah, and I can't zoom while I hate that feature, but I can't zoom when I'm doing this, but it's 2.5 inches. So I take a strip that's about 1 inch wide, and I cut it at that 2.5 inch. And I've got 4 sleeves, so I'm going to need 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them all right away. 2.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what I do is I just score them. And that's the reason why I do a 1 inch strip, so that I can score them right in half. So I put them on my scoring board, right up into the corner. I score it at 1/2. And I do that for all of them. Alright, after you've got those scored, I'm just going to go ahead and glue the rest of these down. I got a shelf like super close to my bench, so I'm constantly bumping it with my arms, with my chair. It's kind of frustrating. But it's gorgeous. It's a shelf that my sister-in-law made me, so I'm not taking it down. I just don't have a lot of room in my craft room to put stuff, so it's on the wall right behind me. So after you get those put together and you've got your 2.5 inch strips by 1 inch strip, you fold those in half. And let's see, I'm going to have to use regular glue because actually I think I'll use my ATG since it's so handy right now. If you want a really permanent bond, I suggest you use your hot glue gun if you don't ever want it to come off. But I'll just use this because it's handy. So take your cover, your very first one, and let's see, I'm going to want it to open this way. So I'm going to put it on this side. Line it up with that edge and glue her down. Then glue this side. One tip that I guess I can give is when you're gluing them down, you want the glue closer to this edge, the outer edge, than the inside edge, because that's the part that you don't want coming apart. Take the next one that you have and just line that up with this one. Now if you are going to add a lot of embellishments to yours, like mine got super thick, do you see that? You're going to want to add a gusset in here, which means instead of having 1 scored line, you're going to want 2 scored lines. Let's see if maybe I can show you something of what I'm talking about. You're going to want to take your little strip and you're going to want to score it twice. Something like that. With the center being, once I flip these up you'll be able to see it better. With the center being wide, like that. So that when your book is closed you have that big gap. You may not want it quite as wide as that, but you get the gist of it. And then you just glue these on the exact same way I showed you. That'll give you a lot of room for your embellishments. It'll also make your book super thick. So that was the first one. Now we need to add this one. I'll just go ahead and keep adding these so you can see how it goes. Okay, see how my book is opening this way? So the next one's going to go on this side. Line it up. Press it down. Add some more glue. Add the next one. And this will be my last one. So line it up and glue it down. One more. The very last one. There. So then you've got a book that opens like this. Now in order to cover these up, because some of you are going, well now you can see where you put those gussets. You definitely could, if yours hang off too far, mine are really borderline, but if you don't like the way that's not super well finished, just cut them off. Ignore my cats, they think they should be fed all the time. They're super huge too. Maybe I should show you how big they are. I'd have to reset up the camera though. They're gigantic. Okay, so anyway, my point was, if you don't want to see these, then you have to find some paper, cut some paper so that it fits over the top. And in this one, I did half of them. So this half I didn't cover. You can still see that hinge, but I don't mind. I covered up some of those pages. But on these opposite pages, I went ahead and just cut some pieces that were exactly the same. I roughed up the edges and I stamped them with a wood grain just so that it would cover that up. So that's how you cover it up. So you could do one long strip in here and fold it like that, or you could add two pieces and just glue them on. The other thing that I did that I have not done to this one is this right here. I need to re-glue that with some hot glue so it stays, but for my purposes, so you can see, that is a tape that's fabric tape, and I just put it on one side, wrapped it around, and stuck it to the other one, so it's actually covering that binding, so you don't see all these little ridges. You could probably get that at Michael's. I can't remember where I got mine at, and I don't have it handy right now except for this piece that I have that I sprayed with some brown for a project, and I just save it. I just stick it to my desk and let it hang there until I need it again. So I hope that helps some of you out. That's how I did the binding on mine, and that's the finished product. That's how it looks. And that way, this fabric tape will actually hold it together through all the wear and tear as it opens and shuts. I also put a small piece on the back of this because this is simply just paper, and I knew that from closing it and opening it that it would wear out, but there's a piece of fabric tape that I silver embossed over the top of, so it's somewhat camouflaged. Alright, I hope you'll give it a shot. I suppose you could also do that from the bottom so that they flip down this way. That would be cool too, but I just thought this was easier. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye!